Being at the age I am, I'm now in my early 50s, and with hindsight and looking back, really, since I was a child, I've always tried to follow my dreams. I've chased them, and most of them haven't come to fruition, but the journey in following a dream and following a goal from a dream actually takes you into beautiful places. It's a risk sometimes, but where you sometimes arrive isn't where you expected, and it enriches the soul. You learn from it. I loved the song, and Israel, of course, is one of Hawaii's biggest stars. Sadly, he's not here anymore. But I felt when I first started working on the piece, I wanted to find various areas on the planet that I feel are very, in our minds, very sort of connected with the universe and with space. Of course, Mexico naturally is with its culture. I always feel Iceland is, and I always feel Hawaii is as well. And in fact, they have a wonderful, areas in Hawaii where you can look at the stars through some of the best technology in the world. So this inspired me, if one's looking at the perspective of looking down on the planet, Hawaii, and this song inspired me really to reach towards it. And I went to the estate of Israel's and asked if I could have permission to work with his vocals that they already had. And it was quite a journey, because of course everything was set out on different old tapes, and because it's an old song. But we put it together, and I was very excited about the piece. And when we went back to the estate, they said we never ever believed that this could have been done with the song, and they loved it. So I got permission in the end to use it. Who have spent time, and some of them quite a lot of time, in the space station, and they've all told me that it's absolutely possible to sing in space, and in fact a few of them so far have, and there is a guitar up there as well, so there are musical moments up at the space station. But no, I don't think anybody has gone up as a professional singer, so I would be very interested, just for my own information, to open up my lungs there and sing. But what I would like to do is if possible, to connect with other musicians and choirs and concerts which could be set up on the Earth, depending on the trajectory, because I am flying. I see there are 16 sunsets a day, so you're flying over the Earth many times, and it would be beautiful to connect up in music with various musicians, be it children's choirs, conductors, orchestras, other singers on Earth, and maybe create something to bring certain focuses to the Earth that need focus, or for charity in some way. We're looking into all the possibilities at the moment, and what is practical. I love coming to Mexico to tour, by the way, because the audience is so receptive and lovely, so I thank you for that. The show I'm going to do is simple but very effective, and for so many years I've been running around the world creating these beautiful shows, and they've been wonderful, but they've been very cumbersome. And now technology, especially in the visual, is so much simpler and more effective. So the show will be like that. But I've been working, very heavily on the imagery, and the songs, because they're, I know what they are, I know how to sing them, and that would be a beautiful thing in itself. But it's been fun to work with imagery, especially with the space theme, because it's given me such a beautiful palette to work with. One of the pieces on the album is a piece by Gorecki, and it's from the Sorrowful Songs cycle that he wrote. And I wanted to do the piece because it is sort of human aspect of us reflecting on what we've done to each other as human beings. And some of it, a lot of it has actually been incredibly negative. But what Goreski writes in this particular, I'm just drawing parallels for you here, what Goreski writes in this particular piece of music, which is really about a woman that's about to die, who is in a cell in Poland back in the Second World War. And throughout all the angst that she's going through, there is hope, and the music reflects this. And when we do reflect with hindsight on what has happened already on the earth, although we still make so many of the same mistakes, is that hopefully as time goes by we actually learn by everything that we've got wrong. And I do believe, just for myself, when I think about human beings and about everything that we've started to create, it actually is, although there's a huge amount of negative that we're fed, there is actually a huge amount of positive as well. There are great things, really wonderful things that are going on in the earth. I mean, for example, so many people, more people now on the earth have communication. They have cell phones, even in some of the poorest regions. So, you know, at least they can communicate, get help. And I think that although we're being very slow about it, as human beings, we're actually getting a lot of things right. So I always see the positive in this. And this is why, with this album, I wanted to create something that was very uplifting, because we always, as human beings, we often think to the negative rather than the positive.